Hey guys, today I'm going to be reviewing the Season 8 premiere of Game of Thrones, Winterfell. Yay! Game of Thrones Season 8 is finally freaking here, you guys. It's been a long time coming. I've been so excited, but nervous and full of anxiety and whatnot. So the premiere is finally here. It's officially started. So anyway, I feel a little bit better. Some of that anxiety is out now that it's officially started. And yeah, guys, I'm so proud of myself. I am so proud of myself. I have just a page of notes here. Just a page of notes. It got to a point last season when I was reviewing the show that I had like 2 pages of notes. So I'm kind of proud of myself. My goal with these videos, because I don't want to sit here forever, you guys certainly don't want to sit here forever, so my goal is to try to keep these videos under 30 minutes because I'm a crazy Game of Thrones fan. I can sit here and talk and talk and talk for hours if I could. And I don't think y'all want to sit and listen to me for hours and hours. So yeah, let's get going. I also have my shirt on. I got this at Target. You know nothing, Jon Snow. And I've already seen the memes, you guys. I've already seen the memes running around that, you know, Jon Snow used to not know nothing, but he certainly knows something now. So, yeah. I guess I'm just gonna go in order with how things happened in the episode, I suppose. I think that's the easiest way to do it, to keep this straight and simple, I guess. So yeah, let's get going, you guys. Season 8, Episode 1. We got an official title, Winterfell. The creators have been keeping all of the titles pretty secretive and whatnot. So yeah, Winterfell, an appropriate episode title for the first episode, I think. Yeah, 54 minutes. I was hoping the episode would be a little bit longer than 54 minutes, because, you know, there were all those rumors like, oh, we're gonna have like movie length episodes. I don't think that's happening, unfortunately. And okay, before I do head into, I guess, individual topics of discussion here, how did I feel about the episode in general? Let's maybe start there first. How did I feel about the episode in general? A very good season premiere, I think. Most season premieres of Game of Thrones, you know, season premieres are usually there to reestablish the world, reestablish the characters, reestablish relationships and whatnot. Things aren't meant to be wild and crazy, you know what I mean? And yeah, this was a typical premiere, you know? It was still very good. I highly enjoyed it. And yeah, there were still super amazing highlights to this episode. So yeah, in general, a very, very good season premiere. I highly enjoyed it. And yeah, it just got me excited, you know, it got me more and more excited to see where the episodes are going. And yeah, in the back of my head, it's like, oh my god, we only have 6 episodes. You know, we only have 6 episodes. How is all this going to wrap up and come together in a cohesive fashion? And I think that's kind of one of my negatives with this episode. You know, even though I still highly enjoyed this episode and I loved it, a negative that was kind of in the back of my head the whole time is that I felt like things were kind of rushed almost, you know? In other seasons of Game of Thrones, you would kind of get a piece of information and it would be kind of drawn out for episodes upon episodes, and you wouldn't get like big huge answers or something until like maybe the very end, like in episode 9 or 10, and yeah, there was just certain things kind of happening in this particular episode, like, oh, okay, we're just going immediately with some things, you know, getting some big information out there in episode 1, you know, some, like, especially the Jon Snow reveal, for instance. That would be something, in a typical season of Game of Thrones, that Jon Snow reveal, with him finding out his true heritage, you know, that would be something that would happen, like, at the very end of the season. But no, it is here literally at the beginning of the season. So, yeah, like I said, I love this episode, but just little things like, oh my god, we're just rushing right into this. You gotta go with it, you know, you gotta go with it. And the same kind of with all these reunions. There were so many reunions. I was like, yes, I'm loving this. But then, yeah, it's like, oh, this reunion is really speedy, and I feel like people should have a bit longer with each other, you know? So yeah, let's get going. I feel like I'm rambling, you guys. I'm so excited. Let's start off at Winterfell, and we see the arrival of Daenerys and Jon Snow, and alongside that, you know, comes her entire group. We have the Unsullied, we have the Dothraki, we got the dragons, and the people of Winterfell, you guys. The people of Winterfell, they are a cold people. They are a cold people. They are a stubborn people. You've always kind of got the impression that the people of the North, they don't like change. They don't like outsiders. And yeah, there's a lot of outsiders coming into Winterfell, and I think it's overwhelming. It's a lot for them to deal with, and you don't see cheering crowds. You do not see cheering crowds like, yay, the return of Jon, the return of Dany, because for one thing, the people of the North are pretty pissed off with Jon for even going to bend the knee to Daenerys. He made all those promises that, oh, I'm gonna do this and that for the North, but I'm going to remain the king of the North, I'm still going to support the North, and yeah, you get the idea very quickly that the people of the North feel like Jon has betrayed the North, even though he has done everything for the North. The thing is, he has still bent the knee to Daenerys. So yeah, a very not a very warm welcome for Jon and Daenerys, and oh my goodness, poor Missandei and Grey Worm. Grey Worm and Missandei, it's just a very brief moment, but they're just sitting there, you know, riding along, and the people are like staring them down, and poor Grey Worm and Missandei, because yeah, they are total outsiders to this world. Yeah, the dragons freak the hell out of everybody, which is understandable. But yeah, I loved Arya's reaction. Arya's like, oh wow, cool dragons. And Sansa, when the dragons fly over her, I talk about that amazing, beautiful shot, you guys, as the dragons are flying over Sansa. You know, even her, she's kind of like, oh my god. But yeah, she's not like scared or frightened or anything. She stares in wonder, I think. So yeah, the arrival of Jon, Dany, very cold reception, like I said. One of the first reunions we get here, Jon and Bran, they have not seen each other since like season 1, episode 2, because I think Jon leaves for the Night's Watch in episode 2, doesn't he? And Bran is still unconscious in that episode, I want to say. So yeah, that's the last time Bran and Jon have seen each other. A very cold reunion. You know, this is going to be a repetitive theme throughout this video review, guys. Cold reunions. Very hard reunions. Not a lot of joy in some of these reunions. And yeah, Jon is so happy to see Bran. But Bran, no, once again, Bran being the three-eyed raven, nothing there. Nothing there on Bran's face. And it's so strange and weird. And poor Jon's like, what the hell, man? So yeah, a clip that we have been seeing for a long time now, where Sansa and Daenerys, they finally meet and interact, and yes, Sansa's whole "Winterfell is yours, my grace," and it's very cold. Once again, you guys, cold is going to be a big word in this video review. But yeah, Sansa clearly does not like Daenerys, and yeah, this initial meeting, this very first impression, it leaves a bad taste in Daenerys' mouth, as we kind of see later in the episode. We move from that outside of Winterfell, and we move inside to the Great Hall of Winterfell. Just to bring this up really quickly, because we'll touch on this near the end of this review, but yeah, we do see little Lord Umber, precious, sweet little Lord Umber. He's being sent out to go do his business that he needs to do to help the North. Like I said, we'll get back to that in a minute, because he came back in a very shocking way that left me feeling pretty terrified. But yeah, more on little Lord Umber later. Lyanna Mormont. I loved Lyanna Mormont in this episode, you guys. And oh my goodness, the actress has grown so much. She's definitely so much taller than the last time we saw her. Lyanna Mormont, you know, what I love about Lyanna Mormont, she's a little girl, but she has such power and command, and she doesn't, you know, mince words, you know. It's like, this is the fact. This is the fact. You're going to listen to me. And yeah, she lets it be known to Jon, hey, we're upset with you, man. We are upset with you. You've lost our faith and our trust. We're confused. We don't really understand what's going on here. How are we supposed to treat you? Yeah, we don't trust this Targaryen outsider and all of our people. And yeah, Lyanna Mormont, really, she's the voice of the people in some ways. And yeah, even Sansa voices her frustrations at one point, like, hey, I prepared for the winter for the people of Winterfell. I didn't prepare, food and clothing and, just any sort of supplies that are needed. Sansa's like, I didn't prepare additional supplies for Dothraki and Unsullied and dragons, for crying out loud. So yeah, there's a lot of problems. There's a lot of problems going on, and yeah, everybody has their own points of views, and the thing is, nobody is wrong. That's my concern with people leaving this episode. Because I love Sansa. Sansa is my girl, you guys, and I feel like people are going to leave this episode feeling irritated and annoyed with Sansa, and like she doesn't know what she's talking about. But Sansa does know what she's talking about. She has her own point of view, and to her loyalties lie with Winterfell itself, and I hope people aren't too pissed off at her, just because she is siding against Jon, because I totally understand where she's coming from. I understand where she's coming from, I understand where Jon's coming from, I understand where Daenerys is coming from. The episode does a good job of, you're not really on anybody's side, You're not really on anybody's side because there's pros and cons to all sides, and I think that's done really well in this episode. And we do see Tyrion, because things are getting heated up here in the Great Hall. Tyrion does stand up for Jon at one point, and I don't know if that's a good idea, because Tyrion is still a Lannister. People still know his reputation. But Tyrion still makes that stand, like, I'm gonna risk this. I need to say something here. I can't just sit here silently. I have an opinion and a voice too. And Tyrion does stand up for Jon, like, hey, you guys, listen, we gotta band together, or else we're all gonna freaking die. Let's get to one of the next big reunions, and that's between Sansa and Tyrion. Cold, yeah, guys. A very cold reunion with these two as well, which was kind of upsetting, because one of the reunions that I was looking forward to the most this season was definitely Sansa and Tyrion. They spent so much time together in King's Landing. They got married, for crying out loud, and a lot of their conversation really doesn't have anything to do with, like, their past together, A lot of the conversation is, like, the here and the now, and, I mean, that's fine and all, but I left that scene like, oh, I want more, I've been looking forward to Sansa and Tyrion so much, and I wanted so much more from that, and it is kind of just a sad reunion between them. So much has happened between them. I think in some ways you gotta read between the lines with their reunion. There's so much that's being left unspoken. You gotta kind of read through it, and yeah, they've both been through so much. They've both been through so much hell. They're two completely different people now, and yeah, Tyrion, acknowledging, hey, everyone underestimated you, but here you are. You're the Lady of Winterfell. And yes, Sansa acknowledging that he's the hand of the Queen now, and they're both on these different sides, and it's strange and it's awkward between them, and Sansa just lets it be known. Sansa in the past would have been afraid to kind of speak the way that she spoke to Tyrion in this episode, but she just lets Tyrion know, hey, I used to think you were the most cleverest man in the world, and basically kind of a mic drop, like, you joined her side, I don't even really know what to say to you, you're not clever to me anymore. The Tyrion of old would have been on a completely different side, perhaps, So yeah, Tyrion and Sansa, a very cool reunion there as well, and I needed more. The thing is, I hope with a lot of these reunions, a lot of these reunions were very short and brief, but I'm hoping we kind of continue to get some more as the season progresses, because I definitely want some more Tyrion and Sansa, and yeah, I mean, are they not married? I have some confusion about that. I mean, did Littlefinger, did he get a divorce for Sansa and Tyrion, did Littlefinger kind of bring that into being, that he managed to get them some sort of divorce papers or something before he married her off to Ramsay Bolton? So I'm not sure where that is with Sansa and Tyrion, Are they not married? I guess not, because, like I said, no discussion on that. I was waiting for some sort of discussion like, hey, I guess we're not married no more, but yeah, nothing like that was brought up. And then, one of the best reunions. This is probably one of the best reunions in the episode because it had some emotion and feeling to it. Jon and Arya. I absolutely love the Jon and Arya scene. Once again, very short, but I think they packed a lot in there. They got enough in there to bring out the feels, bring out the nostalgia. Because yeah, one of the last times Jon and Arya are together is back in season 1, like, what is it, episode 1 or 2, and he gives her needle for the first time, and we see those beautiful parallels to that particular episode with their reunion, and just the way the whole thing is shot and framed. I mean, if you were to put that, if you were to take season 1, with that particular episode when Jon is saying goodbye to Arya and giving her needle, if you put that scene alongside this scene in season 8, it's going to run pretty parallel because Arya, she jumps up into Jon's arms. You know, I remember that scene so clearly in season 1. She jumps up in his arms. She's such a tiny little girl, and she's still a tiny little girl. You know, Maisie Williams isn't that tall, but it's like she is still grown, but she's still kind of tall. She's still small enough that she can jump up into Jon's arms, and he can pick her up and hold her in the air, you know. I love that. It was so sweet, just so nostalgic, you know, making you think back to season 1. And yeah, her showing him needle. The needle scene was great because Jon's like, oh, have you had to use this? And Arya, I feel like Arya is afraid to really let Jon know the truth of her adventures, you know? I think there's a part of Arya that she wants Jon to continue to see her as his little sister. Because yeah, she's like, oh, once or twice I've killed somebody. She's killed way more than once or twice. And I think she's trying to let Jon retain some of that innocence about her, you know? But yeah, I love the Arya and Jon reunion. And yeah, Arya makes it clear, hey, I'm glad you're back. I love you. But Jon, I'm supporting Sansa. Sansa is my sister. I understand where she's coming from. I am completely 100% on her side. And yeah, reminding Jon, hey, you know, remember our family, remember where you come from and whose side you should be on, and you should be supporting your family. Yeah, that's definitely one of the most pivotal pieces of dialogue there, you know. I feel like that's foreshadowing something, you know. And I mean, not just that, I mean, we know Jon's true heritage. He is still he's still not a Targaryen, he is a Targaryen, he's still a Stark, you know, he is, half of him is still a Stark, he is still part of the family. So yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot being said there, you know, hey, remember your family, you know, remember whose side you're on. Okay, so we got all that out of the way. There's a lot going on, you guys. Let's go down to King's Landing. A great opening sequence there, that Euron Greyjoy, the Golden Company, they're arriving. We see the fleet. Qyburn coming up to Cersei saying, bad news, my queen. The wall has been breached. The White Walkers are coming through. And what is Cersei's response, you guys? Good. Good. We definitely know what Cersei's motivations and agendas are. You know, it's just that line. Good. You know exactly Cersei's headspace, you know, her motivations. She does not care for the North. The North can be totally overrun with the dead. That's a problem solved for her, you know? It's a problem solved for her if the entire North gets wiped out by the dead. But yeah, once again, Cersei just being so stupid, not thinking, like, you know, once the White Walkers come through, I mean, they're heading south. You know, they're not just stopping in the north. They are going to keep on coming down, and I think she's just really naive and ignorant to that. Like, they will stop, you know, but they're going to keep on going. So before we do get to Euron and Harry Strickland and all that, we do get a quick scene with Euron and Yara, making it clear that Yara is still very much a prisoner to Euron Greyjoy, her uncle. Yeah, not much in that scene, just poor Yara, like, oh, please, let something good happen for Yara, you know. Yeah, we do get our very first look at Harry Strickland. I really like the actor choice. I've seen him in a few other little random things over the years. I really like him as an actor. He doesn't get to do much in this episode, Harry Strickland. I'm hoping we do get more with him. It's such a shame because Harry Strickland seems like a really interesting, intriguing character. And it's kind of a shame that he's being introduced here in the final season with only 6 episodes to go, and yeah, he's probably not going to have very much screen time, unfortunately. Yeah, in any other season, he would probably be really cool and badass, but I have a feeling we're not really going to get to see any of that. So yeah, I guess I'll speak more on Harry Strickland as the season goes on. Hopefully we'll get more there with him. But yeah, going to the throne room, Euron's ego. You guys, Euron has one hell of an ego on him. You know, he's like, hey, I've done this, I've done that, I've done all these things for you. I've even brought you the Golden Company. Hey, it's time that you have sex with me. It's time. It's my due now. Because one of his things was like, I want to sleep with the Queen of King's Landing. So yeah, or Euron has an ego on him. And yeah, Cersei in the meantime, Cersei is so funny because she's like, where's my elephants, man? You promised me some elephants. I want some elephants. And Euron's like, well, it's hard to get some elephants on a long sea voyage. I had a feeling we were not going to get any elephants in this season because the dragon CGI, for one thing, is a lot. I mean, we've barely even got any dire wolves in the past seasons. So yeah, there's no way we were going to get any elephants. You know, too much CG going on. The CG has to go towards the dragons, unfortunately. So no elephants, which is a shame. Cersei does end up sleeping with Euron, you guys. I'm a little disappointed in her that she did that. I wanted her to remain just really vigilant, you know, really strong and stern, and not give in to Euron, but she does give in to him, and I'm just curious why she does give in to him. I just can't really fathom why she did give in to him like that, and she seemed so sad and lonely. I mean, maybe that's it. She gave in to him because she is sad and lonely. She misses Jaime. She's trying to be really stoic and stern and brave, but I think there is still a scared little girl somewhere in there. And she just gives into Euron like that. I mean, I don't know if she has an agenda there sleeping with Euron, because if she is pregnant, but it is Jaime's baby, but now she's, you know, she was sitting there she had a lot of bravado last season, like, oh, I'll let the people know that the baby is yours, Jaime. I have no shame that I've slept with my brother and you're the father of my children and whatnot. But yeah, is she going back on that now? Is she embarrassed? Does she need someone as kind of a scapegoat, maybe, like, or maybe scapegoat's the wrong word, but she needs someone as backup, like, hey, I'll just let Euron think that I'm pregnant and it's his child or whatever, but it's really Jaime's. Once again, though, if Cersei's pregnant, I don't know. It's very confusing with Cersei right now because her agendas are kind of just everywhere. I think she's scheming. She's constantly scheming and planning something. One of the next scenes we get, just a very quick scene with Bronn in the brothel with some naked ladies. He has like 3 of them there, and in comes Qyburn to kind of ruin his fun. And God, you guys, Bronn, I'm gonna be so devastated with Bronn this season, you guys. I don't think it's gonna happen though. Qyburn essentially comes to Bronn with the proposal that Queen Cersei has given you this mission. She wants her brothers dead. She wants you to go kill Tyrion and Jaime. And Qyburn gives Bronn the crossbow. Bronn's not going to do it, you guys. Bronn has always been a man, you know, he looks out for number one. He looks out for himself. He's in it for the money, and he's a very selfish guy. But Bronn, I think in his own way, he has come to really love and admire Tyrion and Jaime, you know? So, I don't think Bronn is going to go through with it. I think he might get close. I think he might get close, but he's going to hesitate and not do it. And I think Bronn will be up there to help out with the big battle with the White Walkers at Winterfell. And I think he will die in the process. You know, I think that's going to be Bronn's redemption story. That he's kind of going up there to kill some people for the Queen, but he's going to end up not betraying Jaime or Tyrion, I think. But he will go out sacrificing himself in some fashion, I think, for them. So Bronn, don't screw this up, man. Don't disappoint me. And then, before we leave King's Landing, out in the ships, we do see this really quick rescue of Yara. Here comes Theon and some other Greyjoys. They rescue Yara. It's it's just kind of simple and over and done with, very rushed, but hey, Yar's been rescued, I guess I can't complain. And yeah, just such a quick reunion here with the Greyjoys. And yeah, she basically says to Theon, I'm heading back to the Iron Islands. That way, if something happens, Daenerys has a place to go to as a refuge. And Theon is like, well, I'm going to Winterfell to help out up there. And I think very much like Bronn, Theon going to Winterfell is going to be his redemption story, you know, coming to a conclusion. Because Theon has had a rough journey as well. He's done some serious betrayals to the Starks, but he kind of redeemed himself by helping and rescuing Sansa. But yeah, and yeah, I mean, some redemption here, saving his sister because it was his fault in some ways that she got kidnapped. So yeah, I think Theon, he's going up to Winterfell to die, you guys. Both Bronn and Theon, they're going up there to die. I think it's a given. I think it's kind of predictable at this point. I'm going to be shocked if they both make it out alive. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to Theon heading up. There's a lot of reunions that gotta happen there. A lot of reunions. Okay, let's head back down to, or up to Winterfell, I suppose. Just a quick scene. We have Tyrion, Davos, and Varys. They're remarking on the Jon and Daenerys companionship relationship. The three of them clearly are getting romantic vibes. You know, they look good together, they work well together. Yeah, Tyrion, Davos, and Varys, they're not stupid. You know, they are not stupid. And yeah, I mean, there's this whole conversation between, you know, age, you know, the old versus the young, and wisdom versus inexperience, you know. And yeah, the three of them, you know, they've had so much experience. They know what's going on down there between Jon and Daenerys. And yeah, is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? And yeah, Varys has a really great piece of dialogue in here, something along the lines of, respect is how the young keep us, the old, at a distance, so we don't remind them of an unpleasant truth. Nothing lasts. And yeah, that last piece of dialogue, nothing lasts, just the key to this whole episode, I think. the key to the whole Daenerys and Jon relationship, you know. The two of them, they're together, they're young, they're good looking, they're enjoying each other's companionship and partnership. But yeah, as we find out by the time the episode ends, you know, Jon learning his true heritage, and yeah, it's not going to last between him and Daenerys. You know, that's the thing, it's not going to last. There's going to be a block in between them that's going to put their relationship to the test, for them to consider how they continue with their relationship. So yeah, this happiness and joy going on between them, you know, it's not lasting. Nothing lasts. And we do see a scene with Jon and Daenerys, and I liked this scene because yeah, Daenerys is like, hey, Jon, your sister, she's lovely, but I'm not here to make friends with her. I want her respect. Yeah, because I think Sansa was respecting Daenerys in her own way. It was just very cold. You know, it's not like she was being totally, you know, pushing her to the side and whatnot. But yeah, Daenerys, she still wants Sansa's respect ultimately. Like, you know, and I need more of it, you know, or else she's not going to get my respect in return. Oh, the dragons, you know, because Sansa mentioned earlier, you know, we got Dothraki and Unsullied plus dragons. How are we supposed to feed all these people and the dragons? So yeah, the dragons, they're hungry, they're huge, they're starving, and yeah, I think one of the Dothraki guys even mentions, you know, we only got them like 12 goats. That's not enough for 2 fully grown dragons. So Daenerys and Jon, they head out there, and this is where we get one of the most epic scenes in the episode, you guys, and I think something we've all been highly anticipating. Dany gets on the dragon, she gets on Drogon, she tells Jon to get on Rhaegal, and just such a really humorous scene with Jon like, how do I get up there? Where do I sit? What do I hold on to? And yet, Daenerys and Jon Snow ride dragons together. You guys, wow, it was epic, it was amazing, we've all been waiting for this. Beautifully done too. The CG was beautiful, the landscape, the cinematography was absolutely gorgeous and beautiful, and this was such a nice moment because we know where the season is kind of ultimately heading. The Night King is coming down. the North is most likely going to be destroyed. And this was such a beautiful kind of chill moment, if you will. You know, just very calm and peaceful and beautiful to see Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen out there in the beauty of nature, the beauty of the North, flying on these gorgeous, dangerous but beautiful dragons. And yeah, they land at a waterfall. I tell you what, you guys, I had some flashbacks with Jon and Ygritte coming back in my head because, you know, the first time Jon and Ygritte had sex with one another, it was in a cave, and yeah, it looked like there was some caves back there behind the waterfall, and I was like, yeah, Jon's gonna go back there and have sex with Daenerys in a cave. He likes doing that sort of thing with his ladies. But no, we didn't get a sex scene out there in the waterfalls, the caves. I'm kind of surprised they didn't do that. And yeah, oh my goodness, I got the biggest kick out of Drogon. You guys, Jon and Daenerys are sitting there kissing, and it's sweet and cute, and Drogon in the meantime's like, what's going on? It was so cute. It makes me think, like, if you have a pet of your own, if you have a dog or a cat, you know, those awkward moments where you're kind of doing something and your dog or cat is looking at you, and it's like, stop staring at me. Like, yeah, like if you're in the shower, taking a shower, and your cat, like, peeks in behind the curtain to look at you, or yeah, you're getting dressed in the morning or something, yeah, your dog or cat's just sitting there looking at you. Very much Drogon. That's Drogon right there, just being nosy and spying on Daenerys and Jon in a private moment. So let's get to another batch of reunions here with Arya. We see that Gendry, he's making some Valyrian weapons. He's just going really speedy with that, getting some stuff done there. And with him is the Hound. He's making the Hound weapon and whatnot. And yeah, this is where Arya comes in, and we get some reunions here. We get Arya and the Hound, Arya and Gendry, one I loved, one I was disappointed in. So the one that I was disappointed in, the reunion here, I was kind of upset with the very cold, harsh reunion with Arya and the Hound. I've been looking forward to this reunion so much as well, and I just thought there would be a bit more softness and gentleness there between them, but they're both very hard with each other, which is kind of strange. And yeah, just nothing there. I mean, maybe that'd change, you know, maybe that'd change in another episode. But you know, Arya and the Hound, I mean, they're just both naturally hard, cold people anyway. I mean, maybe that's the best reunion they could have, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, I was disappointed with that because, you know, Arya, this is the first time she's finding out that the Hound is alive, you know, and him kind of seeing, hey, she's made it too, you know, because yeah, I know Brienne told him last season that Arya was around, but yeah, this is his first time actually physically seeing her. So yeah, the Hound kind of just takes off. That reunion is so just fast right there. It's kind of upsetting. But it was made up for with the loveliness that was Arya and Gendry. And she tries to play as if she's indifferent, you know, she tries to play that she's indifferent, but she does get a little smirk there, you know. There's definitely some really adorable flirtation right there between them, and yeah, I think Gendry is just, I think he's awed by Arya, you know. This is a girl that he knew a number of years ago, and when he last knew her, she was a little girl. She was dressed like a boy, her hair was cut short, and here's this much more grown-up, mature Arya who is looking more like a girl now, and she's beautiful. I think Gendry's kind of thrown for a loop a little bit, like, oh my goodness, you know, and yeah, I think they're both trying to be a little indifferent to one another, but I think there's definitely a little bit of flirtation kind of sprinkled in there, unless that's just me, the shipper in me, just imagining things. And yeah, a big thing we get here is Arya wanting Gendry to make her a weapon, so I guess we'll see how that goes. And then, oh boy, you guys, we got a really intense scene between Jon and Sansa. Oh my goodness. Once again, the two of them just opposing different sides and just not sure what's going on, you know, and yeah, just the big takeaway that we get from this scene in particular, Sansa's question to Jon, did you bend the knee for the North, or because you love Daenerys Targaryen? And I don't think Jon even knows. You know, I think Jon has been wondering that himself, that did he bend the knee for the North, or did he bend it because he does love Daenerys? And I think he did both. You know, he did both. He loves Daenerys, but he also loves the North, and I think in his mind, he bent the knee for both purposes, but I think it's just him kind of coming to terms with, did I do the right thing ultimately? Because here's my family, and here's the entire North really upset with me. And then we get to Daenerys and Sam, you guys. We got a lot of reunions going on here as well. One good, one bad. Daenerys thanks Sam for curing Jorah, so that was great. I love that. But then we get some bad news because Sam gets the news from Daenerys that his brother and father were murdered by Daenerys. The dragons burned them to a crisp. And, oh my goodness, Sam, he did such a great job. The actor, he did such an amazing, heartbreaking job in that scene. You see that pool of emotion, like, oh my god, I can't believe this. You know, even though Sam's father in particular was a horrid person, he treated Sam despicably. The thing is, that's still his father and brother. You know, it's still his family. A part of him still loved them, despite how he was treated. And it's a lot to take in. You know, it's a lot to take in. And I'm curious how Sam is going to feel about Daenerys kind of continuing on and whatnot. So in the meantime, Sam, he's like, okay, I gotta get away. I need a moment. And he just runs right into Bran, you guys. His pain kind of dissolves rather rapidly because he runs into Bran, and Bran's like, hey, Sam, we gotta tell Jon his true heritage. It's time. The time is now, man. And it just comes out of nowhere. You know, I got the biggest kick out of Bran in this episode because Bran was constantly just, if the scene would kind of turn and there would be Bran. You know, he was staring at Sam right now. He was staring at Tyrion and Sansa earlier, and then yeah, we'll get to Bran and Jaime at the end. But yeah, Bran just always being somewhere, you know, located somewhere and looking at people, and it's so creepy. So yeah, we got this moment. Of course, Sam is like, I don't want to tell Jon. Why does it have to be me? But I think it has to be Sam because Sam and Jon have a much tighter bond in friendship than Jon and Bran, you know? So I think it just means more coming from Sam, perhaps. So yeah, we do get, Jon Snow does get the big reveal. He gets his heritage revealed to him, that he is the son of Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen. You know, this was a good scene. I'm very conflicted about this reveal for Jon, because we, the audience, we have known for a couple seasons now. You know, we've known for a couple seasons, but Jon has had no idea, and this scene it did feel kind of just quick, and just the information being thrown out there, you know, rather than it kind of just maybe dropped casually, you know, kind of fed to Jon. It's just kind of all just jumped out at Jon, you know, it's all just thrown out there at him, without him to really comprehend and take it in, you know. So yeah, Jon gets all this. The camera. There's even a behind the scenes thing about the episode, and the creators and whatnot. They were all talking about, you know, they wanted the camera to linger on Kit Harington the entire time as the information was being revealed, to get his full range of emotion there, and his disbelief and shock and confusion. And yeah, Kit Harington did a great job. You know, the acting was great, but yeah, there's that part of me. It's like it's all just thrown out at him. You know, it's just the information it's just there. It's available. He knows now, and yeah, I'm very curious how Jon is going to take all this, because he does. He seems confused, and he almost seems a little mad. You know, like, Sam, why are you telling me this? You know, I hope there's no anger between Jon and Sam. You know, like, Sam, or Jon feels angry that Sam did this to him on purpose, you know, like, because everyone doesn't like this pairing between Jon and Dany, you know, and, like, are you trying to tell me this information to break us up and break up this partnership, you know? So I think there's a lot going on with Jon. I guess we'll see how it goes as the episodes continue. And yeah, the reveal is just one of those shocking things that happened in this episode. Like, I can't believe it happened here in episode 1 of the season, you know, not a couple episodes down the line. And yeah, it's not even the last thing that happens in the episode. There's still several more scenes that happen after this. Because to me, I always imagined that the big Jon Snow reveal would happen like at the end of an episode and that would be the cliffhanger. But no, there's still quite a bit that happens after this moment. So I'm very conflicted with the reveal to Jon because, I mean, we, the audience, know, but he doesn't, and it's just kind of thrown out at him just very quickly without him given much time to process. Okay, so let's go up north, further up north away from Winterfell. Yay, Tormund and Beric and Ed, they're all alive. Somehow they all survived the wall falling down. And yeah, they're both actually split into two different groups. We see Tormund and Beric, and they're with a little group of Night's Watch, and then Ed has his own little group of Night's Watch, and they finally collide together. This was perhaps one of the most hilarious moments in the episode because Ed's like, oh my god, he has blue eyes, kill him, and Tormund's like, I've always had blue eyes. I love that. This episode had some weirdly humorous moments, you know, considering that there's all sorts of hell about to break loose. There were some really great, top-notch, hilarious moments, and yeah, this was definitely one of my favorites with the blue eyes. And oh my god, you guys, we get this really hilarious moment, followed perhaps by one of the most genuinely terrifying things I have ever seen on this show. You know, I thought the Red Wedding was bad. The Red Wedding produced such a visceral feeling in my body, you know, just something that I felt deep in my body, the core of my body. And I felt that with the Red Wedding. I felt it with Ramsay raping Sansa, and I felt it with Hardhome when the Night King, you know, does this and raises the dead, you know. Those three moments in particular, I had such a visceral, just gut reaction, like, I felt physically nauseous and physically terrified. And this moment here in this episode is definitely added to my list of top moments that really just produce such a gut reaction. And little Lord Umber, you guys, little Lord Umber, he didn't make it. We see Beric and Tormund and Ed. We see them, they go up to a wall. There is little Lord Umber chopped to pieces, you guys, chopped to pieces, and yeah, making that weird spiral shape that the White Walkers have been making, you know, whatever that means, whatever it signifies. And he's cut up, and one of the most, it's horrible, you guys. It's hard for me to even talk about what reaction it produced to me, because I was terrified, I was chilled, it was very upsetting, because it's a little boy, it was very upsetting that he came upon such a fate. And the thing is, he's not really dead. He comes back as a white, and the scream, you guys, if you thought Shireen Baratheon's scream was terrible, oh my god, his scream as a white as he's trying to, you know, get at them, and they burn his body, and oh, seriously, just, it seriously produced a really strong reaction in me. It's hard for me to kind of get through how I felt about it, because it was truly upsetting and terrifying. But yeah, very effective, you know, it was very, very effective. So yeah, let's get to the last scene, a very quick scene. Jaime, he's pulling into Winterfell. He keeps himself hidden for the time being so he can sneak on in there, because I think most people know what the King's Lair looks like. And he gets in there at Winterfell, and the first thing he's greeted with, Bran. Once again, Bran is always in the shadows, you know. I think Bran, he always knows where he needs to be. You know, he always knows where he needs to be, and I think he knew Jaime was coming. He knew exactly where Jaime was going to be, and he positioned himself in such a way, hey, hi Jaime, it's me, Bran. You remember me? You pushed me out the window. And I already saw some reviews about the episode, and people were talking about, you know, very much like the Arya and Jon reunion, this kind of reunion between Jaime and Bran kind of very much parallels what we saw back in season 1, episode 1, because that episode ended with Bran being pushed out the window by Jaime, and this episode ends with the two of them confronting each other. You know, just a nice parallel there. So I'm very curious what's going to happen there. You know, what's going to happen there with Jaime and Bran? Is Bran going to be hateful and upset or, well, the thing is, he has no emotion though. Bran has absolutely no emotion, so I can't really imagine him being upset with Jaime. I think the weirdest thing that could happen is that Bran thanks Jaime. You know, he actually thanks Jaime for an odd reason, you know, because had Bran not been pushed out the window, he would not have kind of got to the place that he got to eventually. You know what I mean? He would not have become the Three-Eyed Raven, possibly. So there might be a weird bit of thanks right there, which would be very strange. Who knows? So yeah, with the arrival of Jaime, that's how the episode ends. It cuts to black. I can't wait for the next episode because Jaime's got to reunite with a lot of people. He's got to confront Tyrion. He's got to confront Brienne. He's got to confront Daenerys and Jon. I mean, he's got to confront everybody. You know, he's had interactions with just about everybody up there in some way or another, so it's going to be intense. It's going to be intense, but I think everyone's going to realize, hey, he is on our side. I think we can trust him. We need an able-bodied fighter, you know? And yeah, you guys, the preview, oh my god, the preview for the next episode, it looks like the battle for Winterfell is happening a bit sooner than expected because I think we've been led to believe that the big battle for Winterfell is happening in episode 3. But it looks like it's starting a little early in episode 2, like at the end of episode 2. I'm terrified, I'm excited, I'm anxious once again. I cannot wait for episode 2. So yeah, you guys, that's it for this review for the season premiere of Game of Thrones. I very much enjoyed it. Yeah, a few little things in there that I wish had been done a little better, like some of the reunions, because some of the reunions were done so rapidly, so quickly. It's like I needed more room to breathe with the reunions, if you will. And then yeah, I'm just very conflicted about the Jon Snow reveal, you know, because once again, something done very, very quickly that would have taken a whole season for him to find out in any other season. So yeah, overall, a really fantastic episode. So you guys, that's it for my review. In the comments below, have you guys watched the premiere? What did you think about it? Things that you loved, things that you hated, were you anticipating? We gotta talk about deaths. Who do you think is dying by the time the season ends? So, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.